Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. I am joined by our friends from CKM Collision that do a little bit more than cars. You might be surprised. So good morning to John Brady, the shop manager, and Chad Canaris, the owner of CKM Collision. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so when I drive by CKM Collision, and you guys have in fact helped my car out after somebody had backed into me, and you guys were very lovely and painted it, and you'd never know. But you do a lot more than just cars and collision repair that I had no idea. So I want to start, and you brought some pictures. Talk to me a little bit about the bobsled.
We've worked on countless bobsleds.
Olympic Park being so close makes it easy, right?
We did all the rocket sleds up at the Olympic Park. We've done New Zealand's bobsled. I'm trying to think. Jamaica's bobsled.
You actually worked on Jamaica's bobsled team?
This actually is a bobsled from the Paralympics. They're actually trying to start their own bobsled team for the Paralympics.
And you do the painting on them as well?
Yeah. Yes.
That's beautiful. See, you could do more than just repaint someone's bumper that's upset about something, right?
That picture right there is New Zealand women's. That was sponsored by Quicksilver, and we did that one in 2001.
Okay.
Ready for Salt Lake.
And I can see where the bobsleds, just the technology and the metal and the angles and everything, it has to be so precise in the details there.
Yeah, they're an incredible work of engineering, that's for sure.
Absolutely, and you make them look beautiful too, right? So what about helmets? You guys also work on helmets?
We have done a lot of U.S. athlete helmets. Most recent is Danielle Umstead, that one right there. That was her Paralympic helmet.
That was for Vancouver.
Yeah, that was for Vancouver. Stephanie Victor's stuff we do. In fact, I got a message on Facebook from Danielle just this last Sunday about painting her new helmets and stuff, because all her stuff is actually at the Olympic Park on display, her and Rob's.
No pressure there. So not only are you doing it for the Olympic athletes, now you're having them displayed as a work of art practically. Wow.
It's pretty interesting to walk into a place like that and see some of your work.
That's fantastic. That I love. It almost looks like they're going so fast the paint just sort of splattered over the side. I love it. It's just they were too quick to even stay in one spot for that.
Danielle loves tie-dye. And so I was thinking it would be kind of an easy thing to do, but doing a tie-dye paint pattern isn't the easiest thing to do.
I can imagine that one was a little challenging, but the stars, how fun. All right, and you also have done monoskis.
Oh yes, Stephanie Victor is a great friend of ours, awesome client. We've done, she loves Tiffany jewelry.
Okay.
And part of her deal was she wanted me to incorporate the Tiffany color into her into her monoski. And so I thought to myself, how do you modernize a color that's been around for 150 plus years? So, you know, I just kind of sat back and racked my brain, and there's a picture right there of Stephanie's monoski. And really just, I think we hit that one out of the park.
That's fantastic. Well, and it's so wonderful that you're not only supporting, you know, Olympic athletes, Paralympic athletes, but you're really helping them to feel good about their equipment, personalized, confidence. It's just, and again, I would have never guessed that CKM Collision would, the artistic ability to do all of this is incredible. And it's not just me, you guys have won awards for these.
Well, it's not so much the awards, it's seeing the U.S. athletes feel good about themselves and their equipment, how they look. I mean, it just, in my opinion, goes it gives them that winning spirit, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely. And I think it's always, the difference can a lot of times be in the details.
It can. Yeah,
that makes them feel really good about themselves. So again, we've talked about what you guys do to support our Olympic and Paralympic athletes. What about some race cars?
No.
when you're past just the local Park City, the mom and dad cars, when do you switch over to race cars?
Race cars are really when they call and they need the repairs done or need something done. So it's I'm usually the one that will do that, and will pretty much drop what I'm doing at that point in time and
I can
get it done,
imagine
because
you guys
there is
would
a
be into
schedule
that.
that has to be done, and you cannot miss those schedules or deadlines.
And who are some of the racers, or where has your work been featured in what races?
We've done some vehicles for like the Baja.
Okay.
We do work for Ken Block and his team, and that was World Rallycross, which was GRC, Global Rallycross.
Global Rallycross.
World
okay.
Rallycross. I'm trying to think what the
We've seen them on TV.
Yes.
We've seen the
yeah.
racers, yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
We've seen your work.
X Games. I mean,
And hot rods too. This
Oh,
isn't
yes.
just, you've done some hot rods too.
a lot of hot rods.
I can see people get pretty passionate about it. Well, you brought some really cool before and afters pictures that I want to show people so they can really see your work. Here are some race cars, of course, but let's see some cool cars that we can show you, that from when they were brought in to what they look like once they leave CKM Collision. And we'll try and find those photos. But I think people are going to be really surprised to know the extent of what you guys do in the garage and what you guys do sort of in the studio. Can people come to you with projects, and just sort of the guy off the street has a special request for his car or painting or anything like that?
We actually get quite a bit of that. It is getting harder and harder now to get several in. We might pick one vehicle to do and
A
restore.
special project.
That's what we call them, special projects.
For a special snowflake with a special project,
And
right?
depending on the extent, it may be a year in planning on what we're going to do for that car, and then a year in the build.
The build. Uh-oh. That looks like somebody had a problem.
This was actually this last winter. It was we had to do a frame swap on this vehicle. It was a 2007 Yukon. They took it off into a ditch.
Uh-oh. Look at this.
That's our 1960 Corvette. That was a from the ground up restoration on that fiberglass repair.
We actually made that into a modern car, so it has a new LS3, new brake system, new wiring, transmission. It doesn't have all the 60 components. That's actually the car before we did all the restoration.
That was day one.
And,
Wow.
Yeah, that was day one.
So now you can have the cool vintage car, but have all of the modern conveniences.
Different ride, more horsepower, a totally different feel.
I mean, the process for that kind of a rebuild from the ground up, how long did that take?
That was a year.
I bet.
Almost a year to the date.
That's a committed owner right there.
He actually came by the shop yesterday because he had the top done on it in Salt Lake, and brought it by so we could look at it and actually let me take it for a drive. So,
That's a nice job perk, isn't it?
and there it is, all finished right there.
Yep, that's complete.
And this is a local Park City guy.
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, everybody does like their toys and their cars here, right?
Yes.
Yes. Everybody has to have toys.
Everybody does around here. And what a gorgeous finished product. And now I want to bring up one other thing that you guys worked on that I know a lot of people will be surprised to hear. Everybody loves the Park City moose. When you see all of the moose around town, right? And you guys are like, oh, not the moose. They lose their antlers. Kids climb all over them on Main Street. They get all broken down. And the moose, you're their vet.
Yes.
They head to CKM,
Yes.
yeah?
Yes, they do. Hayden Williams is a great client of ours, and she's a local artist. There's actually John and Holly working on one of the moose right there in the picture, but she's the one who does a lot of the paint work on it. What we'll do is we'll do the actual repairs and then let Hayden work her magic on the artwork. And then we bring the moose back in and clear coat it and make it look good again.
I love it. We bring the moose back in.
Yeah.
Oh, look at them.
That's
Yeah,
our
they're all
current
over
one.
town. But
This
they,
is the current one for Mr. Car Wash, and this is one that Hayden just did. I want to say we had that one sitting in the shop for about a year, trying to do all the work to it.
We had to strip it down back down to the fiberglass
Yeah.
on that one.
I didn't realize they were fiberglass. No wonder they break so easily.
Well,
No wonder people shouldn't be climbing on them.
when they started them, they were originally put up for auction, the artists, when they were given them, they used stuff like spackle and other house products on them. And spackle doesn't bode well to moisture. So you'd start
And
getting,
why would you need that in Park City, right?
and it starts to swell and it starts to fall off. And so we had a couple of the artists originally came to us to fix them and to figure out a way to weatherize them.
To make them a little more practical for an outdoor moose.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
and that's how we got our start with them.
I love it. All right. Well, John, Chad, thank you guys so much for being here. And for
Thank
those
you.
of you who may be watching at home and thinking, I could really use some help with some of the toys in my garage, where are you guys located?
We are 3844 North, Old Highway 40. We're in the same building as Park City Towing.
And
And
a lot of us-
Ricardo's Auto Repair.
Ricardo's and,
Yeah.
and Park City Towing.
It's the old Rocky Mountain Power Building.
Everybody knows that, right? There you go. Okay, CKM Collision, thank you guys for being here so much.
Thank
No problem.
you.
Thank
This
you.
is the Mountain Morning Show on Park City Television. We'll be right back after this.